stuck in nostalgia like me. I wanna know.
Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about investing. When I say investing, the reason investing is so important is because of the fact that it generates passive income. Passive income is really what you want to go after, and pretty much what passive income is income that you generate while you're not actually working. For example, if I make a book and I put the book online and it starts selling, I'm generating passive income because I'm making money even though I'm sleeping in my bed because my book is selling. So the idea that you want to have is you want to create as many of these forms of income as possible. Imagine if you had 10 or 20 different things paying you, a little bit of money. It adds up. So today I'm going to be talking about one way you can do that. And one great app that you guys can invest in is called Robinhood. Now, I'm sure some of you might have heard of this. It's a free app that allows you to trade stocks for free. What is stocks? Stocks are pretty much an amount of shares available. It depends on so many factors. I'm going to try to help you guys out and explain as much as I can in this video. So, all right, let's get started, guys. So here's the Robinhood app. Essentially, you got the graphs of this is pretty much my portfolio right here that you see. This past week I generated about $50. None of this is necessarily passive income, but I'll explain that to you in a sec. So you got the search button on the top right hand corner, and over here you can pretty much search for any stock that you want. And I'm gonna show you guys the stocks that I own personally, and what stocks I think you guys should have, and my reasons behind them. So my top stocks are the following. It's these very stocks that you see over here. And the reason why I chose these stocks out of others is because for a few reasons. Let's just take a look at one of them, for example. All right, we got this one, DIA. It's the the SPDR Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right. So the reason I really like this stock so much is because, the reason I like all these stocks so much is because they all kind of look, something like this. Look at the 5 year, just let it load. Look at the 5 year, how it looks in the past 5 years. It's been going up, like, always. Okay, not always, like over here went down a little bit, but I mean, it came right back up. It went down, and then it came back up and started going up again. So, essentially, the history of the company tells you whether you could trust it or not. And I trust these. Oh, by the way, guys, these are actually not companies. Well, let me rephrase. These are not individual companies. These are actually ETFs. And the difference between ETF and a company like Apple, for example, here, let me find Apple for you guys. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, my internet's all right, right there. So we got the Apple stock. So the thing about companies like Apple and Facebook, these are just one company. And the problem with investing your money in just one company, I mean, first of all, look at the history of Apple. I mean, it goes down, it comes up, it goes down, it comes up. I mean, yes, it's doing better than it does poorly, but it's not as good as the stocks that I own. And the reason for that is Apple is just one stock and one company. I mean, while these stocks that I own, ETFs or mutual funds, if you want to call them, these stocks are many companies in one. What that means is, like, you see how it's $218, right? It doesn't mean that I got, let's say let's say it includes Apple stock in this ETF, which I don't think it does, but let's just say it does. That would just be one piece of that $218. Probably like only a few bucks of that would be an Apple stock. Even though an Apple stock is worth more than $100, it doesn't mean that there's $100 of Apple stocks in here. It's much less than that. Do you know? Does that make sense? It's like, it's a piece of a company, a share. That's what they call it. They call it shares. Shares is a synonym or a similar word to the word stock. Anyways, I'm rambling over here. So yeah, the reason I love these apps so much, I mean, they all essentially look like that. You see, they all pretty much look like that. This is lagging, that's why it's not. Alright, there you go. So yeah, you can see that the history looks good in all these stocks that I own. That's the first big reason why I purchased these stocks. You know, DIA, SDYL, SPLV, DTN, PEY, DHS, DVYL, and two other stocks that I will get into is FUN, which is actually, you know, Wonderland, Disney Park, Wildwater. You know, it's like theme parks, Dorney Park, Wonderland. But this stock has been doing great, and yeah, that's why I'm gonna get it. Like, look at the history. This one, okay, I know you guys are like, whoa, look at that drop, but I feel like it's gonna come back up. Usually, the stock market, it always goes like, the stock market always goes down and it always goes up. That's with every company, you know. It's like a roller coaster. But the way some companies ride that roller coaster is different. You know, some companies go up a lot and some companies go down a lot. And with this particular app, even if you look at the years before this, 5 years, it's always been moving up pretty much. You know, this is like probably the only time that it's moved down. So I know it's gonna, well, I'm not gonna say I know, but I have pretty good faith that it's gonna go back up. And yeah, so but the history is not the only reason why I purchased these companies, because I'm sure you can find plenty of companies with great history, right? I mean, there's hundreds. So another key factor, and this is a huge one, the reason why I chose these apps is because of the dividend payments. And let me tell you guys something quickly about this Robinhood app. Keep in mind, this app is it's free, so you can't expect it to be perfect. And it being free is amazing because you could hardly find any trading apps that don't charge you commission fees. Most of them charge you commission fees, and with this app, there's no commission fees. You just pay for the stock itself. I mean, sure, you got to pay taxes and stuff like that, you know, for your earnings, but you're not paying any commission fee. There's no commission fee, and that's great. And with Robinhood, the other cool thing is that some apps don't do is you could virtually look for any stock. I mean, some stocks are like, I guess, some newer ones, or like ones that just came out or that haven't come out yet. You could probably like look them up, but you probably won't be able to buy some of them. You know, I'm not saying you could buy every single stock in existence. I'm rambling right now, so let me move on. So yeah, the dividend payments for these stocks are amazing. And what is a dividend? Some of you are like, some of you probably don't even know what a dividend is. So you see on the bottom here how it says dividend yield, div/yield. So that's essentially a percentage that the company pays you. It's a payment. It's income. Or not the company, but the stock. They pay you for just holding on to their stock. So just for holding on to the stock, they pay you. Now, how much they pay you and how often, these are all different depending on the stock that you own. Every stock, has, some stocks don't pay at all. Some pay a lot more. So, some pay less frequently, and which now comes down, which this reminds me of the reasons why I chose these stocks, which is that these stocks pay monthly. It's rare for a stock to pay monthly, and I thought that was important for me because, hey, I want my money now. And the sooner you get your money and the sooner you actually reinvest that money, the faster your money will actually grow. So if you got your dividend payments like every year instead of every month, let's say even if it's the same amount, let's say you get paid $100 a year, or 100 divided by 12, whatever that is, every month. It's the total is the same, but you're better off with the monthly because you generate compound interest faster, which is the sooner you reinvest your dividends, the sooner those dividends could make you more money. And that's pretty much the point of dividends. And you don't have to reinvest them. You could also use it as money, to buy whatever you want. I'm trying to build my retirement, so at this moment I'm just reinvesting, but once I retire and leave my job, I'm not gonna reinvest anymore. So I'm sure you guys also want to know what the rest of these things mean. Some of these are pretty obvious. Pretty much the statistics on the left is obvious. The 217.54, that's the time this opened on. That's the starting price the stock sold at when it opened. And the high, the low, I'm sure you get that. 52-week high, 52-week low, you get that. Volume. What is volume? Volume is the amount of people buying and selling the stock on a particular day. So that means 597,000. There's 597,000 trades going on. Either buying or selling of this stock. And with the average volume, that's what the stock usually, like the usual amount that it trades at. Market cap is the total amount of money, total amount of, it's the total of the whole company or ETF or whatever. And then you got the PE ratio. With the PE ratio, you pretty much don't want it to be negative. PE ratio is pretty much what they're expecting to earn for your money. It's kind of complicating. It's not a huge factor. To be honest, I didn't even really pay attention to the PE ratio unless it was negative. Then I probably won't buy it because then the company's expected to lose money. So the PE ratio, what helps us doing is when you compare two different companies, the PE ratio can help you find which one you're getting a more I guess better deal. Like if you were comparing two stocks that were part of the same sector, like let's say they were both technology, the PE ratio, the one that's lower, that you're essentially getting more out of your money. The one that's higher, they're expecting to make a lot more, but if they don't meet those expectations, the stock can actually fall in price. So yeah, pretty much summed up all these things. Another thing that I want to talk about is, all right, so you see how it says buy on the right over here, and then on the left it says sell. With the stocks that I do buy, right, I generally set a stop loss, either like below the 1 month line or below the 3 month line, like somewhere down here maybe, or something, or maybe like 20. Maybe I'll put a stop loss at 207.70. And you might be confused, like, what is a stop loss? Why am I doing this? So a stop loss, here I'll show you like how it looks. Okay, so let's order type stop loss. So a stop loss, let's just say I put 0.5. Oops. So a stop loss, the reason, I'm not gonna set it, but I'm just showing you guys, but the reason a stop loss is so important is because if the stock does crash, which we already saw, look at the 5-year mark, it's highly unlikely, but if the stock crashes or the economy crashes, like it did in 2008, you want to get out before it hits that low point, and even if you don't get out, there's ways to come out of a stock market crash a winner, a champion. And I could speak more about that in another video if you want, but essentially a stop loss, the idea of a stop loss is to get out before the stock becomes too low. But when it does become too low, and remember what I said, usually with good stocks, and these stocks over here are good stocks. With good stocks, they usually always come back up. So when you see a stock that went down a lot, you might want to buy a lot of it when it's really cheap. But you don't want to buy it expensive and have it fall, you don't want that. That's why you want to get out of. You want to get out with a small loss rather than a big loss. Does that make sense? So yeah, I guess I covered everything. So again, the reason I got these stocks was because they have great history. Their dividend payments are amazing. Oh yeah, about the dividend payments. You see how it says 3.9. Some of these are not 100% accurate, like over here it says 3.9 dividend yield, so 3.9 out of $17. So pretty much like close to 4% of $17 a year I would be getting in dividends, if that makes sense. So I would have to divide 4% by 12, and whatever that percentage is, that's how much of 1704 I'll be getting every month. And that's pretty much how the dividends work here. I'll show you guys some of the dividends that I have received. See, $4. So these ones are paying me about $4. These ones are paying me about $3.60, $4.90, $1.03. So this one's not much at all. Oh, I only have 2 shares though. You see that? So that's why I'm barely getting anything. It makes sense. I only have 2 shares. So this particular stock right here. This stock right here, it's a leverage stock. So here, look. Oh, it doesn't have that information on it. So, but pretty much this ETF, it's leveraged. So that means the losses are going to be greater and the bonuses are going to be greater. And it doesn't have a very large volume. You can see it only has 700. What that means is it's going to be a little harder to buy, and it's also going to be a little harder to sell. So with a stock like this, you don't want to have too much. You see I only have 2. I might want to get like 10, you know, like the most, or maybe more than that if I, you know, if I had a lot more of the other stocks. Oh yeah, and Fun and BX, they're not monthly dividends. That's actually why I don't have them yet. They're quarterly. It's just like about every 3 or every 4 months, something like that. Every 3 months, I think. They pay you. But see, look at this. 6. The dividend for this one is 6. That's good. And the dividend for this one is 5. These ones have a lot higher dividends, which is actually why, another reason why I didn't mind that they were monthly. They were not monthly payouts. So yeah, and yeah, you could find stocks with much higher dividends, but a lot of them are super risky. Like, you look at the history and you'll see like huge crashes. Like, the crashes are nothing like this going down here. The crashes are like much worse, you know. And that's why I don't mess with any of the really high dividend. That's why my dividends are kind of low. These stocks are safe. The stocks that I have right now, you want to think long term. You know, I plan on having these stocks like for the next, I don't know, 30 years or something. So yeah, there's no extra fees on this app. This app is completely free, and they actually have a giveaway for you to get the free stock. And I'll actually get a free stock too. So you guys will actually be supporting this channel if you sign up using my referral link. So I think you guys should sign up just to get your free stock, even if you don't want to invest. Just get your free stock. After you get it, sell it. It could be an Apple stock worth more than $100. I showed you the Apple stock already. But when you do get your free stock, sell it. Keep it if you want, but I recommend you sell it, and either you could withdraw the money or you could invest in something else. You know, invest in PEY. You know, that's this one stock I had. It was only like what, $16, something like that. So yeah, that's if you want. You know, no pressure. You know, you guys don't have to listen to me. This is what I'm doing. I'm just sharing. You guys. They actually lend you, they let you use money to buy stocks with. And you see over here, I'm borrowing $3,000. So once I reach I'm not really sure what minimum I'm gonna need to borrow to retire. But once I reach their maximum, which is like 50K, which means I'm gonna have 100,000 total in my account. That'll be the time where I'll be able to retire, because I'll be able to live off of my dividends. I'm not gonna live like a king, but I'll be able to live off my dividends, and I'll be able to support myself with just dividends. You know, if I had a lot more money in my account, and that's pretty much my plan. That's what I plan on doing. You know, I can't wait till I have more money in this account. And yeah, I think that was it. You do gotta pay for the gold, this gold membership. I could talk more about the gold. Another thing that makes ETFs better than regular stocks from regular companies is that it's diversified. For example, let me show you guys what I mean. So you see on the bottom it says the ETF tracks a price-weighted index of 30 large cap US stocks selected by the editors of the Wall Street Journal. So this is like this particular ETF is 30 stocks in one, and that makes it diversified. So if one company goes down, you still have 29 more companies that didn't go down. So essentially, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You got safety cushions, and that's why ETFs are so powerful. And speaking of diversification is the third key in being wealthy. And that's actually why I invested in multiple ETFs. And not only multiple ETFs, but multiple apps and multiple different types of investments, which I'll be going over in future videos. So don't forget to click that subscribe button. Another thing, keep in mind that ETFs are managed by professionals. So that's who runs these particular stocks. And these professionals, they know what they're doing. So essentially, it puts my mind at ease, and I don't have to worry about my stocks. So to summarize, the reason I chose these particular stocks is because they have good history. That's one. The second reason is they have good dividends, monthly dividends, most of them, except FUN and BX. And the third reason why I chose these stocks is that they're diversified. These particular stocks are pretty much all many different companies in one. For example, here, let me show you like SPLV. SPLV would be the weighted index of the 100 least volatile stocks in the S&P 500. So this one is 100 stocks in one. It's a great way to diversify your portfolio, instead of risking all your money in just one stock. So there you guys have it. Smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.
I gotta know, ooh, Molly, are you stuck in nostalgia?